Welcome to the studio, it's Froyle here. I'm so glad you've joined me. Today we're doing one of my absolute favorite techniques on the Gelli plate. We're creating image transfers. Now, if you've had a bit of a trouble with image transfers, this could really help you with the tips and techniques I'm going to show you. We're going to have a lot of fun, a little experimental. Let's do some painterly effects and really push this medium further than where I've been before and create some absolutely astounding monoprints. Can't wait to show you. Hope you're going to join me. Okay, so let's jump straight in. The number one problem you might be having with your image transfer is your print copy. And print copy matters. Thank you to Libby for sending me this fabulous t-shirt. She came recently, had a personal one-on-one tuition on how to create these beautiful image transfers on the gel plate because her print copies weren't working. I'm telling you, it has to be a laser copy print, and I have found personally that the color laser copies work best from where I get them, Warehouse Stationery in New Zealand. Now, you're probably not in New Zealand, but you're going to have to find a resource of where you can get the fabulous print copies from that actually work. The second problem you might be having with your image transfers is too much paint. Not too much paint. I had to learn that the hard way because, yes, I'm very heavy-handed with my paint application on the gel plate, and I had to learn through a lot of practice what was enough to create the print but not too much that stopped it from transferring. Right, straight on the plate like that, thin copy. This one is a color laser copy print. Straight down on the plate. This is real time. You'll see how long I'm leaving it for. A little rub. And that's probably about it. It doesn't take very long. The process is a resist technique that actually creates from the toner that's in the color print of your copy. It resists the ink or paint that's on the plate, and it creates the transfer process. There's my little treasure. Pretty good transfer. There's the original laser copy. You can see how it's resisted the paint and left it on the plate. So that is very successful. It wasn't hard, that was real time, but you have to make sure you have the right print copy. Yes, I'm going to be saying this all day. Right, I'm going to put her aside and then we're going to do the exact same process with an inkjet print because I still get questions about can I use my inkjet print. Okay, I'll show you. Right, second plate, same technique. This one is straight off my inkjet printer. You can tell it's not coated. It doesn't have that shiny surface feeling to it. We're going to use exactly the same amount of paint, just a little paint. Make sure you have a roll-off sheet, so if you do put on too much paint, which is very common for me, you can roll some off because it needs to be a thin layer of paint. Now I'm using the brown black, the Atelier paint, because I like the color. It's not as harsh as black, but it's a really nice deep color and will create a fabulous transfer. Look at that, thin layer, Vegemite on the plate, inkjet print, straight down, same technique. A few minutes on the plate, give it a bit of a rub. Real time, not tricking you. I'm not trying to be difficult here. This is actually how easy it is. It is easy. I told Libby it was easy, and she had to come all the way from Australia to realise how easy it actually was. Right, let's see how our transfer went. Ta-da, ta-da! Your inkjet printer will not produce the copies that you want for an image transfer because the ink in your inkjet printer doesn't have the toner, and the toner resists the paint and makes it stick to the plate. Your inkjet print copy will just completely absorb all of the paint. It'll go It'll suck it all up. It won't leave any on the plate at all, as you can see, and it won't work. And it's really frustrating and you want to scream and cry, probably. So don't waste your time, don't waste your money. Your inkjet printer will not work for an image transfer on the gel plate. Has to be a laser copy, has to be a good quality laser copy that has a good amount of toner in it, because that's the magic, baby. Righto, now, have we got that sorted? Print copy matters. Let's go back to the other little treasure. Right, now that we have her on the plate looking fabulous, what can we do? Well, anything. If we add another layer to her, which we're definitely going to do, you are going to have to wait for that to dry before you pull the print. So I'm adding my script stamp to her along here. I'm really liking the idea of this texture on the plate. Yes, love it. It looks beautiful. Let's add some more, a little higher perhaps up here. Now, like I said, I will now have to wait for that bronze to dry before I continue to pull the print. Adding a little bit of the beautiful dashes texture as well. Maybe on the side here. Yes, that looks fabulous. Just gives it an extra little something. So we'll wait for this to dry, then we'll pull that print. And while we're waiting, just as well I've got 2 gel plates, let's pull another transfer. Right, I have this fabulous looking rustic door. Now the thing is, I try images all the time for the transfer. They don't all work as far as there's not enough dark and light contrast in the image. That's really important. But this one should work out all right because it does have quite a strong contrast of dark. And there's a fair amount of the light as well. Very simple composition. It's a door, right? It's not hard. So let's see how it looks. Sometimes they turn out better than I think, and other times they don't work very well at all because there wasn't enough dark and light contrast in the photo. So step 1, color, copy, laser, print. Step 2, not too much paint, very thin layer. Yay. Print, copy down. Give it a rub. It really only is, what, a minute? Not even a minute. How long does it take me to say this sentence? That's how long I'm rubbing it right now on the plate. I'm not stopping the camera. I'm not fast forwarding. I'm not being tricky, truly. I could pick up a piece of paper and wipe off that little bit that tends to be around the side of it, only because it's smudging, making a mess, but really it doesn't even matter. So now let's see what our fabulous print did. Ta-da, ta-da! Yes, that looks beautiful. You can see how all the dark areas, which are going to have the most toner, resist the paint and it sticks to the plate. The light areas absorb the paint into the paper and there isn't any print on there. That's fabulous, turned out quite well. Let's let that dry and then I want to try adding some painterly application to it. Okay, I gave the transfer a good 5 to 10 minutes to allow it to dry while I pulled out some fluid paint. I've got some gold and some Titan buff, some Quin Violet and transparent iron oxide and some burnt sienna. Oh, and a little bit of gold. So what shall we start with? I know my hand just lent itself to the gold. So what we're going to do is create a beautiful paint layer on the transfer and then we're going to pull the print. I know, right? Doesn't that sound fun? So wherever we're putting this fabulous color is what you're going to see the other side when we pull the glorious print. Little bit of gold, little bit of trans iron oxide, little bit of Quin Violet, and some of the burnt sienna. Now what color are we going to pull it with? That's the question. We will have to wait for this to dry before we can actually pull the print. And then I think, ooh, we could pull it with the bronze. That'd be pretty nice. So then if I left some areas that I didn't actually paint, you would see the colour come through of what I pull it with. I know, right? Too much fun. Now I'm using the golden fluid paints because they're nice and fine and thin, because we don't really want the paint to be too thick or might not get it off the plate. I don't know, man. We can only hope that it's going to come off the plate. So I've done a very thin layer. We can always get more extravagant the more we go along. Let's see if this idea works first. And I think I'll just add a little bit more gold in with the colours just to make it more painterly and see how it looks. Righto, that's that. We'll let that dry. Let's do the same to the other image transfer and then we'll pull these prints. Okay, well, I think we should add a little bit more brighter, raucousy colours to this one because we all know she's full of attitude. I think it'll be just a little bit of fun if we add a pop of bright orange. She's got those hippie looking 70s pants on. So, you know, we need to add a bit of colour to that. And I like the idea of creating that kind of brush stroke effect. This time I'm not going to cover it entirely because I want some of the colour to come through that I'm going to pull the print with, which will be, not sure yet, but it's going to be. But as soon as I know, I'll let you know. So I'm just going to paint very painterly kind of strokes on it. Maybe a little bit of the gold, just for a bit of metallic bling. And perhaps we'll pull the print in maybe a titanium. Yeah, that could work. That could show off all these beautiful colours nicely. Righto, what if we just do that and really kind of just leave those brush strokes? Even over her face. Oh, getting crazy now. Righto, that is very painterly. I love it. But I do love painting. Okay, let's let that dry and then we'll pull that print as well. Yay! Right, so this one is nice and dry. This is the door one. Let's put the iridescent bronze fine as the layer that's going to pull the print, so any areas that I didn't actually paint on will show through with the bronze. It'll also give it a beautiful metallic background behind those glorious transparent colors. Now we are going to have to wait for this layer to dry before we will pull the print, just to get all of those other, whoops, layers up. I'll put it on crooked. I'm always putting the paper on crooked. Oh man. Anyway, we'll give it a fair length of time to dry. I'm thinking an hour. I'm going to go with an hour. And then we'll pull it up and see if it's going to pull up all of those fabulous layers. So that's that one down. Let's put Titan Buff on the other one. Right, so this one, yes, going with Titan Buff on this one. I'm using the beautiful Japanese paper. You can have a look in the description under the video if you want to know exactly what paper I'm using and what paints I've put on. They'll be there in the description under the video. Right, Titan Buff is on. Oh man, I hope she comes up because she'll look beautiful. Paper's down. Again, we're going to give it some time to actually dry. And then we'll pull both the prints. Now, of course, while I've been waiting, I pulled out my third jelly plate and put another image transfer down. Same process. I wanted to use up the rest of the paint that I had there on the palette, so I've put it on another door image. And I'm hoping it's going to work as well. So we're going to have 3 prints to pull, and I can't wait to see how they look. Waiting is the hardest part. Okay, well, it's been 35 minutes. Yes, I timed it because I thought you might ask me. Are we feeling brave? I'm feeling brave. I was going to leave it an hour, but I couldn't wait any longer. So let's have a little peek and see if it's going to come off. Yes, it's looking pretty good. And then if it gets stuck, we could always wait a bit longer. But at the moment, it's looking all right. Looking pretty nice, looking pretty nice. Slow and steady now. Don't get too excited. Look at the colours of the brushwork. Yes! Well, that is absolutely fabulous. I loved it. What fun is that? You can see the image transfer there on the plate, and you can see all the brush marks where I've added that paint layer. That's really fun. I think using the transparent paint was probably a good idea because I can see the image transfer through it, and I like that. All right, feeling brave. Let's try the next one. All right, let's see how my little treasure came off the plate. I hope it came off the plate. This paint was a bit thicker on this one, so it might have needed a bit longer, but it seems to be coming up, so we're going for it. I know, told you I'm not good at waiting, but I did wait 35 minutes, so that was pretty good. Oh yeah, yes. We've got the attitude that we wanted to see on this particular image transfer. For sure, for sure. Love the colours, love the texture. Yes, that worked very well. Look at that. That's a whole lot of fun. You can see the stamp there of the text script that I put on from behind her. And you can see the brush marks. Oh, I like that. That's really fun. And there's the dash stamp that I put on as well. Image transfer is looking good. You can still see her beautiful face, and I'm glad I put some paint over it because it blended it in a lot better with the background. That's really fun. I'm loving it. That looks cool. The possibilities are so endless. You've just got to get the right print copy so your image transfer works. And then anything's possible. Stamp it, add stencils, add paint, add brush marks, or just roll the colour on. You know, I think we should do an image transfer with the rich gold because that'd be fun. Okay, let's do that. Now, you don't always have to have dark colours with the image transfers. I do like to use the brown black most of the time, but then sometimes you just want to experiment with what else could be possible. I've got the Atelier Rich Gold. Man, this is a beautiful gold. And if you saw the episode last week, I was testing out lots of different golds and metallic paints. And this one, baby, she's beautiful. Now, this is an image that I took in Naples of the ceiling in the plaza where we were. It was magnificent. Straight on the plate. Just going to wipe over those edges because I get paint everywhere if I don't. But the image is down. Yes, colour laser copy print. I get them from Warehouse Stationery in New Zealand. You'll have to find what works for you in whatever country you're in. If you're trying a home laser printer, then I have heard that if you run the print copy through twice, it builds up the toner and it will work. I don't know because I don't have one. I just go to Warehouse Stationery because I know that it works. Oh, look, baby. So that's the rich gold. Yes. Love the rich gold. All right, let's do a couple of these. We're going to do this one and then we're going to grab the other plate and do one on that as well. Then what will we add to them? Something fun. Same again, I'm going to use the rich gold. Now this image is one that I took in Venice. I used the reflection of the water when taking a photo of the building. It's pretty cool. I loved Venice. I loved all my travels. So straight down again on the plate. And let's see how this one transfers. Okay, how did beautiful Venice transfer? Ooh, yeah, baby, look at that. That's just fun. So the transfer is going to be where you see the dark areas mostly. So it's going to be all of those window shapes, very geometric. That's just fun. I'm loving this idea. Right, the gold's working. Look how cool my paper looks. That looks cool. That's going to be in collage. So we'll let those dry and then we'll think about what layer we're going to put on next. So here's the third one that I created while I was waiting for the other two. I think it's been down long enough. It might pull a little on the edge because the paper is smaller than the plate and the edge has got a fair bit of paint on it, so that might pull at the print. On this side it seems to be pulling at the print. Maybe I should have wiped that off first. Maybe. But the print's looking rather beautiful. So let's hope it doesn't tear too much. Gentle, gentle. That side's all right. It's just this side is catching. So this was another one of the door image transfers. And it's come out quite nice. Oh, I like that. It had a bit of bronze already on the plate because I was printing yesterday. That's where it caught. Not too bad, not too bad. It'd be great for collage paper. I think the colors are probably a bit dark for being able to really see enough of the image transfer, don't you think? Yeah, perhaps the lighter colors are better. Put it up the right way, that might help. Now I can see it better. See the door image in there? But it's worked really well. You can see the brickwork around the door. I think the transparent colors is a really good idea because you can still see the image transfer coming through the print. Note to self. Yeah, that's cool. Right, so it might be pretty hard for you to see, but it's a pretty nice image transfer in gold on the gel plate. Now what are we going to add to it? I've still got these colors here, so I could easily splash some of these on the plate. I did like seeing the brush marks when I put it on the portrait of my little treasure. I liked seeing that. That was good. So I'm just going to put some swishy looking brush marks on here with the paint that I've got left over, and I've got a little bit of copper on the plate as well. And then I think I'm going to pull it with something dark because that would show up the gold of the image transfer, and that could look pretty cool. So I think I'll leave some gaps, but I did have another idea. What about if we added a little bit of spray, right? Ooh. So if we add a little bit of, this is the bronze shimmer. It's in this little cheap dollar store bottle because the other one clogged up. Oh man, it's so annoying when it does it. And it says non-clogging, but they clog, right? What about if I put the spray on like this? Because I'm thinking it'll just create more texture and a different texture, like a splattered texture. Righto, I'm going to leave that like that. That has to dry. And then I'm going to pull that with something dark. And I'm going to do it to the other one as well. It's a little experimental, but it's a whole lot of fun. So I'm going to do it to the same to this one. This is the Venice one with the fabulous windows that we can see. And I think I'm just going to add some paint on top of the image transfer. And then I'm going to put some of the spray on, and then when I pull the print, You should be able to see the gold image transfer if I pull it on something dark. Well, that's my theory. And we'll see how that goes, won't we? Righto, so we'll try just some marks like that. And then we'll try the bronze shimmer. Put that on the plate. Wait for it to dry. And I think we'll pull it with some burnt umber or some brown black. I think that'll be pretty fun. Because then you'll see the shimmering texture and you'll see the beautiful image transfer. All right, let's give that a try. Right, so it's been like 30 minutes and 35 worked last time, so I'm going to give it a go. Now I ended up using Van Dyke Brown to put on all the prints to pull them. I was tossing it around. It was a really hard decision. I could have used the bronze or I could have used some of this one. That was possible, some violet oxide, but I ended up going with the Van Dyke Brown and I really hope it was a good decision. Oh, it's coming off the plate, so that's always a great start. This is the first one of my fabulous Naples beautiful roof. I love the shape of it. I love the geometric pattern and design. The paint is coming up. Oh yeah, baby. So that is always fabulous. That makes me very happy. There we go, the first experiment with our transfer in rich gold. Isn't it gorgeous? And then the fabulous brush marks. I just love the brush marks. I think they're so much fun. The Van Dyke Brown wasn't a bad decision. That was okay. It's pretty interesting and a lot of fun, and you really could experiment a lot more with the whole idea. This one I put a little bit of the bronze shimmer on, although you can't see it too much. You can probably see it on the edge there. Oh yeah, there's some more up there. But I think the next one I got a little bit more crazy with, so let's see if we get that off the plate. This one I also did the Van Dyke Brown. I know, I could have gone into so many different areas with the colour to pull it with, and it was a tough decision, so I just may have to even experiment another day, because really there's so much you can do with such a simple technique. Put the transfer on and then paint the plate. Oh yeah, I'm liking this one. I think this one looks even better because I did get more carried away with the bronze shimmer on this one. So this one's got more of the speckled texture. See here, the speckly texture, that's from the bronze shimmer spray on the plate. That looks really cool. I love it. There's the brush marks and of course the rich gold of the image transfer. Pulled it with Van Dyke Brown. That's beautiful. That would be a fabulous start for a collage. Yes, I just might have to. Which one do you like the best? Which one do you think turned out the best? I do like the painterly application. I think that worked really well. It was a lot of fun. The image transfers turned out fabulous. So remember what I said, print copy matters. The print matters. Make sure you're using a laser copy, and I have found that color works best. Thanks for joining me today. Wasn't that just so much fun? I love these techniques. The mono prints are absolutely beautiful. Now remember what I said, print copy matters. Color laser print is what I have personally found to work the best and be most successful when you're using the image transfer techniques. Now, if you want more instruction or more lessons, I have a whole lot more classes on Skillshare for jelly printing with image transfers. Have a look there. We get deep into the details and it just might help you to master this fabulous technique. I'll leave you with this video here. It's another tutorial on image transfers on the gel plate because yes, as I said, I'm obsessed with this technique. Thanks for joining me today. I'll see you in the studio next time.